everybody. Got a Pros Kit model SS-331 desoldering station. Just recently arrived, and it is the, see if this shows up here, it's pretty glary. It's the 220 version, 220 volt version, but I think we can take care of that because these is about the only thing you can get off Bangor or anywhere else. These do not seem to show up in the Americans. So let's go ahead and unwrap this in high speed because nobody wants to do an unboxing in slow motion. And there we have it. So here's the actual gun itself. The tip has been tinned, that's why it's plugged up. This just pops back so you can get to the chamber that catches the solder. It's being a little stubborn. I'll get that figured out when I hook it up. The concern I have is this is the 220 volt European outlet with a C13 plug right here. And if you look at the back here, this shows that it's the 220 volt version. SS-331 doesn't say D, E, or H. It just says SS-331. I have a sneaking suspicion this is a universal power supply. So let's take a look. I'm going to pop this thing open and just see what's going on. And I'm not going to go into super detail here. You don't need to watch me tear it apart. But you know what? We're going to find out together. While I was tearing this apart, I discovered that they made it a little bit sneaky on how to take this thing apart. There's these 4 screws right here, and there's actually 4 screws hidden here. 1, 2, 3, 4 hidden behind these 2 panels right here. And this was not fun to get off, so I just wanted to point this out on how this came off. I recommend using a plastic spudger. There's 2 snap clips right here and 3 in the back, and so you just got to get under there and pry this off, and then it will slide right out. So on the next picture, when we come back, I'll have the whole case torn apart and we'll take a peek inside. Okay, I've got the top torn off and I pulled the power supply out, and I wanted to take a peek and see what was going on. The reason I suspected the unit here would take either 220, like this plug here is a European plug for 220 volts, or a standard 110 C13 USA Edison plug, is from a manufacturing point of view, it just doesn't make sense to build 2 different power supplies for the same unit. It's just not cost effective, it's not design effective or anything like that. So either one of 2 things was going to happen with this power supply. It's either going to be a large range input, which this one here is, and on a next shot here I'll try and get a flip around because it's upside down and really hard to see. And I don't want to take this plate off because they are sealed with like a Loctite. Or inside the power supply would be some kind of a jumper scenario. Where you would go from either 110 input or 220 input. So it's the same power supply no matter what unit, whether it's a 110 unit or whether it's a 220 unit. It just wouldn't be cost effective at all. So in this one here, I'm going to have to, I'll come back to a quick shot here because this is upside down and very hard to see with the camera set up the way it is right now. But the input is 100 volts AC through 250 volts. So it's a wide range. So it's very similar to a modern day typical buck boost converter, which are nothing more than really small switching power supplies. They have a wide input range and a set output. This is set output to 18 volts DC at 12 amps. So no matter what the voltage on the input is, the output's always going to be 18 volts. So let me get a shot going here so I can show you the sticker, and then I'll go ahead and put this thing back together. It's actually put together very well. Maybe while I get the camera off and I'll move it around, you can see what's going on. So here I am. I'm trying to get a shot of the sticker, and I'll hold this steady. Hopefully that autofocus will kick in. But as you can see right there, it's the wide range 100 to 250 volts AC. So we can use a standard plug C13 to Edison for USA. And hopefully that's coming across good here. Let's see if I can get a focus going here. There we go. So there we go. That proves it. This will work great. So while we're in here, turn the camera back up, right side up. You can see this thing's put together pretty well. I mean, they got these connectors here sealed so they're not going to vibrate loose. The pump is actually on shock mounts, rubber shock mounts, which is really good. And it's very well grounded, and everything is zip tied very nicely, and all of the connections are either heat shrinked. Can't really see back in there, it's pretty dark. Let's see if I can move the light, but you can see all the connectors are heat shrinked. So this thing's actually put together very well. I'm quite impressed with it, and I'm looking forward to turning it on. I'll put this thing back together and we'll be right back. Okay, I have everything hooked up and got it all connected to the a standard C13 to USA Edison plug, just like this one here. I got a whole box full of these things. So another option that you can do is you can take the cord that came with it. You could probably find an adapter that goes with this to the European 220 to a 110 USA Edison style plug. So that would be an option. It'll only be a few dollars. Or if you want to get extreme, you could take this connector here, cut it off, go down to a hardware store, pick up one of these for just a couple of dollars, and put this on in its place. It just screws in really easy, and then you'll have a standard C13 to USA plug just like that. And that's a good way to recycle a plug like this. So before I turn this thing on, I'll show you a little trick here. This is the sponge that it comes with. It's dry right now, so it's extremely thin. And what I do here and at work is one of the things you can do is there's a hole in the middle here that you can pop that hole out. And that way when you're cleaning your soldering tip, debris can fall in there. Typically I leave mine in there because I do a different trick. I put slits in here. Let's see if this will readjust to the light. Yeah, that might that autofocus. Anyway, I put little slits in here. It'll show up better when it's wet. So what I do is before I get it wet is I'll take an X-Acto knife and then I'll just run slits about every 1/8 inch or so down here. Not very deep. And that creates a whole series of slits. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and wet the sponge, put it back in here, and let's go ahead and turn this thing on and see how it works. Okay, I'm back. I got the sponge wet, and let's see here. I need to work on my lighting here. If you see, you can see the slits in there. And that does a really good job. I've been doing that for years. So let's go ahead and turn it on. I can't see as I'm fond of the switch being in the back. I might change it to the front here. And this should take just a couple minutes to heat up. Yeah, I'm feeling the heat, that's for sure. So if you plan on using this for a project, I would definitely recommend letting this warm up for, a good minute or two before you actually start working on it. So the whole point of this video here is actually to show that the unit will work on 110 USA, standard USA. So there it is. I believe this is hot. Still warming up. You can set it here for 320, that's why. Okay, so let's go up. Alright, so there we go. There, now I'm starting to see smoke. There we go. So it defaults to 160 degrees, which is more like baking. I'm starting to see smoke. Yeah, there we go. It's actually heating up pretty good. Oh yeah, look at that. I'll be the first to see it get sucked in there. Oh yeah, look at that. So the first time you use this, it comes with these cleaner tips that are rasped on the end, one for each size. So that looks a little too big. This one here is, oh yeah, there we go. That one fits in there really nice. Oh yeah, that's doing a good job. Let's see if I got a part here we can tear off really quick, and then we'll call it a day. We'll call it good. So there's a broken capacitor. Oh my goodness, that worked great. Oops, look at that, pop right out. Okay, so there we go. Take your Pros Kit, SS-331, go ahead and buy the H unit, 220 volt, and just plug in a standard computer cable power cord, and you'll be good to go. Thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you like, and don't forget to subscribe.